Hi, welcome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is pilot episode number 1
of Don't At Me.
Anyway, so
Don't eat me.
Don't confuse the people. This is casual. We don't want to get kicked off YouTube off our first try. Anyway, so basically, we're going to be talking about random topics, inviting guests, and having conversations.
If you want to host and you like this, you tell us, then we come and have it at your place. This is the first one, we don't have any guests. But for the next one, we're going to have someone, one of you, who likes it.
You. Anyway, so today's topic, we wanted to keep it casual, we wanted to keep it simple. I want to talk about a topic that recently I was having this argument with my friend, and they were asking me, what do you feel about dating a man who is not as rich as you? Like, this is for the ladies.
Oh, you have a bigger bag.
So technically, gentlemen, how do you feel about dating a girl who has more bag than you? And that's a conversation we're gonna have.
Sugar mommy.
Man, I don't think so. Like, is that really a sugar mommy though?
Oh yes.
Sugar mommy means like she's like 5 years, 10 years older. For me, I feel like circumstance, man. People come from oil, natural money.
But in most cases, the chick was, if a chick has more money than you, in most cases, she's not fine. You're just there for the money, even you that girl.
So you're telling me that so you're telling me there are no pretty girls who have bag. All pretty girls who have bag would not look for a man that's broke.
Now, have you realized that guys who are dating, like, it's very rare to find a chick who has money with a guy who doesn't have money. Everyone, like, the girl will never be in her circle. But the guys who have money, every chick, like, rich chicks are poor chicks. Okay, not poor.
For me, okay, let me tell you. You may have seen situations where a guy is with someone and he doesn't really have a bag and she has more bag than him and she loves him unconditionally.
Does the guy love her unconditionally?
I think so. No, obviously, it depends. Those are situations, these are technicalities. We can't argue about those specific technicalities. But in a certain situation like this, how would you feel about it? How would you, Paul, feel like dating a girl? Pretty length, fine as hell. But she has the bag, and you don't have transport home.
Anyway, I would be, nah.
You can't.
Nah.
Toxic masculinity.
Okay, but you see,
it's man of business.
It's not about that. You get? I feel like everything should be natural. You get? Not natural, but like cultural, like how things are supposed to be.
You're 20 years old. Where are you going to get the money? First understand this. There's certain situations, right? Obviously, they're entrepreneurial.
Until 20-year-old people have money.
Do you have the money like that?
Until what money?
What I'm trying to say, like, okay, give a certain situation. You come from a home that is not that bad, right? But there's this girl. Maybe she comes from money, or maybe there are these entrepreneurial girls. Because I know a couple of friends, but they started businesses early, and now they have bank.
The reason for getting together, you're not saying anything affectionate or love. You're just saying money. So the real reason of getting into that would be what?
You're misunderstanding. I'm not saying that is the essence. For you guys are falling in love, but she has money and you don't.
And I think, okay, yeah. But I've never been in such a scenario, so I can't say.
This is why the podcast is there, for us to talk about the topic.
So for what would you do?
I don't mind.
You don't mind?
Listen, I've explained this like this.
No. Let's go to like her birthday and your birthday. Your birthday, she gets you something really fancy. Really, not. She gets you a phone. Okay, you see what guys are doing for chicks there? That hamper stuff plus it's your phone and what she gets that for you. Then when it's her turn, when it's her birthday, you're like, happy birthday. You do that stuff of today a queen was born.
You see, now that's you failing completely. Just because you don't have money does not mean you cannot hustle a way to get something. No, let me give you an example.
You can fail.
First hold on. Come on, she's your girl. You should plan, like, if you know you don't have the money, you should start looking for that money like 4 months before. But let me first get to that point. First listen to what I'm saying.
The money goes that day.
Paul, first listen. What I'm trying to say is, now look at this specific situation. For me, I actually don't believe that fancy gifts are a reflection of affection. When you give someone a fancy gift, first hold on.
If you have the not if you have the money, but you can't get something. You can't pay for someone's soda.
Let me finish. What I'm saying, in a certain situation, I'm not saying I am not a fan of fancy gifts. Who doesn't like an iPhone 12? You feel me? iPhone 14. But does that really show you know me, or does that really show that you have the ability? First, let me get to my point. Now, I'm looking at a specific situation. You love this girl. She loves you back. At least she says she loves you. When it's her birthday, you deep think it. Let's say she loves books. You track down her favorite book. You make her personalized jump about that thing. You get something that is completely emotional, something that you know is going to tear her up. And for your birthday, she buys you 4 pairs of Air Jordan 1s. Are you content?
So first, she didn't put any affection.
That's not affection. It's just
no,
financial.
Exactly. For where you're only putting affection. First, she's putting in the money. Meaning for her, I think she's just flexing her money, but for you, you're flexing your what? You're
flexing your heart.
She's flexing her money.
Okay, so which is greater? So, which is greater, flexing money or flexing feelings?
So at the core of the relationship, it shouldn't be love. You get it?
But that's what I'm saying. For me, what is our interpretation of love in this aspect? Because for me, if our whole relationship is based off the financial, it's rubbish. It's rubbish. And you know, we're in that era, you know? We're in that era. Not all girls, disclaimer, there's some good girls out there, but there are a lot of girls trying to trap a guy, you feel me? There are girls there who are trying to get the bag. They look for a guy based off one aspect. Is he good looking? Is he socially up there? Does he have the money?
You know, there's a time a friend wanted to get a chick's number. One of it, some girl. So when I called, I was with him and he was like, I want her. He was like, I told her, a friend of mine wants you. Guess what the first thing she asked to her?
Does she have money? Does he have money?
Yeah, does he have money? So it's really going to be difficult to get into a situation where the girl has more money than the girl, and they get together. Most times, okay, maybe at our age, because it's very hard. Okay, not very hard, but there are very few girls who have money. I'm not saying
you'll be shocked, my guy.
If you have money, hi.
You'll be shocked, for sure.
But anyway,
I suppose it's going to come down to what you're looking for in a relationship, because I feel like some people's relationships are transactional. Me, I'm going to give an example of I've seen parents, different adults. They are married for 20, 30 years. They are happily married. They're together, but they're not in love. When you look at them, they're not passionate about each other. There's no desire between them. Do you know why? At the time where they got married, you know what it was? He was a good man, hardworking. He looked like he could make a future for her. She was a mother. She could make a home. It was a perfect fit.
The reality is no one will ever. You can never be 100% in love forever.
Why not?
You can't. Let me tell you, even your own siblings, you don't love them the same way all the time. You get the time when things
I hope Faith is watching to see how you don't love her unconditionally.
No, it's not. No, but it's different. It's different. It's okay. Siblings, it's different. But like,
let me tell you
partners. Let me tell you, if you're only in it for when the feeling is there, it won't last long. Because obvious at a point, feelings will be like.
Let me tell you guys, desire fades. Love does not fade. Desire fades. So it was for me.
We can
contrasting opinions. This is a contrasting opinion. This is how I perceive it. For me, it's more like if you desired her, the love that can fade away. It can be great for a moment, and therefore you hold on to the intangibles, which are those other things in a relationship. She's a good woman. She's there. She's available. That's what you hold on to. Love, man. I don't understand. We're in a generation where we've forgotten how love ought to be. For me, do you want a fairy tale, ladies and gentlemen? Look for the fairy tale. Who told you have to settle for what society says? If he's hardworking, but of course, all these traits are beautiful. But before anything, I feel like love should be the first priority. If all these other intangibles are the reason, like things like money, things like caringness, things like availability, are the core of your relationship, vanity. It will not last, and therefore. For me, the argument between me is, am I going to be 70 years old with this person?
Okay.
And be settling?
No, let me ask you something. You've ever dated? You've dated in school, right? That's so?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
I have dated in school.
I'm
telling you, even in primary. He's actually stole
Release. What are we really talking about? Primary stories.
So, you ever dated in what? In school, right?
Yeah.
So, one of the things that it's really, You get it?
You're asking
Comes-
a question though.
No, listen, follow. Like, let's build it. So, when I think started, things were good, right?
Man, me when I dated in school, I was unserious, young and immature. So
Don't be poetic.
No,
Don't be poetic.
I'm being realistic.
Just answer my question.
it was okay. It was nice. It was fun.
Yeah, but with time, the thing, like, it kept on, like, there were ups and downs. Also, the times when it was there, the times
There
when
were
it was
downs,
there.
there were ups. Yes, of
Exactly.
course.
That's what I'm saying. If it's love,
But it wasn't love. That's the thing. That's why I say you're arguing the wrong.
so
question.
what's the difference? How do you know that it's love and how do you know
You
it's
just
not?
know. Bro, you just know.
So what were you doing? What was it at school?
I was influenced first of all. I think everyone was dating.
So
I
you
wasn't
didn't like
dating. I liked her, but I was attracted to her. Is the word I should use.
Even if it's love, you're attracted to the person.
You're asking for me. Let me tell you. Are you asking love or are you asking attraction? If you're asking me, how does it
It's
feel?
pretty much of the same thing.
Attraction and love.
Like after you guys have started, you can't fall in love with someone you're not attracted to. So
For sure. For
you
sure.
see, yeah. So after you guys getting, like, if you're attracted to her, she's attracted to you. You don't do that he, she. If he's attracted to her, and you guys get together, and then let's say there's that school love. It may not be love, one that you had at the beginning. It was there. It's let's say she did something. She was not even with that guy, but she saw her talking to that guy. Like, feelings come and what? They increase, they reduce, they increase. That's why I'm saying, like, for those long relationships, like for our parents, like after some time, you may not love the person as much as you did. Okay, not love, but you may not. You guys being that, like, that vibrant around each other, may no longer be there. But if you love each other, you will stay throughout the storms, all that stuff, that vow stuff.
So
You get
for me, this is it. If your relationship, if your whole foundation of the relationship feels like you have to stay, it is not it. I feel like you should never want to leave. For me, for a fact,
That's why there's a lot of divorce. If you say that
Let me
I don't
finish.
have to stay,
that's exactly my point. The reason there are a lot of divorces, a lot of people settle. They don't
like,
look for
no.
the thing, they settle. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have had a very heated fight today.
no, but let me tell you.
No. We actually went
Let's
into
see.
tempo.
You can't say you cannot always be in the feeling of it. You get it? At a point you're going to be like, I know I'm not happy with this person, but let's get through this together. You get it? I have to stay for some reason, for some attachment I have to this person. Let's say you have kids with a person, like, how would my kids how would my kids be after
First,
we what example do I leave for my children?
You're saying, can I talk now? This is it. Paul, let me tell you, what kind of burden is that your kids get to see you staying in a relationship for them? Let me tell you something. That is
That's a very big reason.
Paul, can I talk? So for me, this is the problem. How long can your children be the reason that your relationship is together? How long can that really work? That is why you see
Children are
divorces.
really big reason.
Exactly. And you see this once the kid starts to get on his feet, starting to go to high school, going to uni, the parents are like, you know what? I've had enough. I've served my time. It's like a jail sentence. I've served my time. That's why you see that's the millennial age where you start seeing a lot of what? Divorces. Do you know why? Because the reason they were together is no longer
But
viable.
then they don't have a reason to stay together. Because you can't tell me those people who divorce were not in love.
So
You get?
I don't think they were.
They were. They have to have been.
okay, disagreement. I don't think love fits.
It does.
I don't think so.
It doesn't
I think-
fade
I think-
completely.
I think the other
it
thing
doesn't
is-
fade. Let me tell you.
If it fades, it was never love.
No, if you had an ex, the times when you no, this is a bad example, but
Very bad example.
but anyway, but what I'm saying is
Let's come to a
you can
compromise.
never. Okay,
let's
first-
come to a compromise.
Let me first. Let me first finish. You can never be truly like at the same level forever. You're going to be really in love, just going to be in love at a point. Then you're going to be. I don't feel like.
Well,
this
we've done a lot
person.
of interruptions today. So let me say something as well.
After I've not even finished, and you're saying that you're interrupting me to interrupt you.
Okay, let me say something. I've understood what you're saying. Basically, this is what I'm saying. So, on one side, we have Paul. who is a factual man that believes in things fading, and he believes that in the natural cause,
Not fading completely.
of course, not fading completely, but things fade.
Yeah.
Then on one side you have me, who believes that if it was true love, it should not fade.
That's Cinderella,
And what's wrong with that?
Shrek.
What's wrong with wanting Cinderella and Shrek? What's wrong with that?
That's really mythical. Mythical cartoon.
Everyone here believes in higher power,
My
right?
kids will
Okay,
watch
a lot of
cartoons.
people believe in higher powers, right?
Yeah.
It is not mythical, but it is mystical, and yet people still believe. I could
Man.
use this.
This guy is just using fancy, poetic. Neither poet is not there.
Okay, so
But anyway.
okay, let's come to the compromise. We have strayed away from the topic immensely,
Hey, we
but
weren't talking about money at first.
first about the money. Paul finds it. Paul has a. According to what I've seen,
It
no, that's
doesn't
not
really
like,
matter.
We're giving
It doesn't
conclusions
really
now.
matter. But what I'm saying it is in very, very rare circumstances that a guy would be okay with what? With being with a chick that having more money
Toxic
than her.
masculinity.
So
why are you fighting your masculinity?
It's not even toxic
It is
masculinity.
toxic
It's just masculinity.
You're going to work to. You're not there. You're going to. I'm not saying settle with what she has. Work hard so that you can match her and even give her more than what she has. That's a that's
different.
No,
That's
no.
different.
First hold on.
People get into
That is
relationships
masculinity.
with women who have more money and not going there to work until he gets the money. And
Well, now
then
that's your
he
problem.
adds. But the thing is,
Problem, now that's your
most people get there. Let's see.
First hold on. Do you know
That's
why I'm
it.
saying that's a wrong best? Because what you're saying, it's like you're saying every guy that has ever dated a girl who's richer than him dated her only because of the money. That is a
Only
very
because
damn
of the
low-
money. But what I'm saying, it is in very rare circumstances that
But
a guy
what,
dates
aren't
a
we talking
chick,
about those rare circumstances as well?
No, we're talking about circumstances, normal, like how everything is, like the normal. The normal thing is if a chick has more money than a guy, the guy will go and work and become wealthier than that chick. The
Why
guy
not?
will go. How many people do you know have done that?
Countless numbers.
Wow, and to name one.
Jeff Bezos, no, sorry, what's his name? Warren Buffett once lived in the car. No, first off, Warren Buffett is like one of the richest men on the planet. Right?
Google, you guys
Google it. It's okay.
Google,
No problem. There's a time where he was unemployed, and I read something about the way his wife was a teacher or some shit, and she was financing them in that time because he was struggling.
You know, Warren Buffett was a billionaire by 30. He was one.
What? That's amazing. Guys, I'm really happy. I'm really happy we're doing this
No,
because
first-
YouTube is going to snitch this guy.
First rate.
That guy
He
made
was
his
worth-
money
no,
old.
yes, he was worth. Okay, I don't know if it was a billion, but he was worth a lot of money by that time. He was 30 years.
Yes, go Google.
Then his money, like
Go
the real
Google.
money, started coming when he was 70. But
Yes.
by 30,
We're going to
Warren
Google.
Buffett had money.
We're going to Google it and see.
Did Warren Buffett is still married?
Yeah, he is. I think so. I don't know. I think so. I feel like he's never been divorced. Anyway, we've over argued.
I don't even. The guy never. The guy never like. If
Paul doesn't want to release. Oh my god.
Bye.
That is how you say goodbye to our new viewers.
Hey, sorry.
Guys, Paul is in his
Bye was
feelings.
for this one.
Paul is in his feelings because clearly he's very toxic.
Not
He doesn't
toxic.
want to listen to my.
Truthful, honest,
Okay, maybe.
honest.
Okay, okay. Old school. Okay, for me, let's come to a compromise here. The whole podcast thing is because we are here because we have such contrasting personalities and opinions on this, right? On almost everything. That is why we do this. So
I'm more truthful. This
I'm-
one. Anyway, finish.
ladies and
Remark.
gentlemen, only in their dreams can men be truly free. Don't let anyone tell you to dream for less. So this is my opinion.
Right.
He thinks we should accept reality, right? Something like that. That is life. Life is reality. There are problems that come in relationships, and it always can't be the same spark as it was at the beginning.
Yes.
And I believe,
Yes.
if you find the right spark, it never dims. Different opinions, but that's life. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is episode
Don't
1
at me. Pilot episode.
of Don't Touch Me, and we will see you next time. And hope you enjoy this. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen to us on all our podcast platforms. And
Shout out to Shaka.
Von Meyer.
He's recording us right now.
Yeah, because we all have.
Use Maya Photography for all your they call them events.
Occasions,
Mm.